The year was 2145 AD, and humanity had finally achieved the long-sought goal of interstellar space travel. After decades of painstaking research and technological breakthroughs, human explorers had ventured beyond the confines of the solar system, establishing colonies on Mars and the moons of Jupiter. However, the true landmark moment came when Earth made first contact with an advanced alien civilization known as the Galactic Empire. This vast interstellar empire, spanning thousands of solar systems, had been monitoring humanity's progress with keen interest. Their representatives, towering humanoid figures clad in shimmering metallic robes, descended upon the United Nations headquarters in New York, proposing a historic alliance. The diplomats from the Galactic Empire spoke of a grand vision, a future where Earth would be integrated into their expansive civilization, granting humanity access to unimaginable technological wonders and the riches of a million worlds. They promised prosperity, security, and a seat at the table of the galaxy's most powerful entities. At first, the leaders of Earth were hesitant, wary of the implications of such a monumental decision. Could they trust these alien visitors with their strange customs and inscrutable motives? However, the lure of the Empire's advanced knowledge and resources proved too tempting to resist. After lengthy negotiations, a preliminary agreement was reached. Earth would begin the process of joining the Galactic Empire, sending envoys to establish formal diplomatic ties. The news of this historic first contact spread like wildfire across the globe, captivating the public's imagination. Humanity had always dreamed of encountering intelligent life beyond their own planet, and now that dream was becoming a reality. Scenes of jubilation and celebration played out in the streets of major cities as people embraced the prospect of joining a galactic community. Yet, amidst the excitement, a small but vocal contingent of scientists and political leaders voiced their concerns. They argued that the Empire's promises of benevolence should be viewed with skepticism, that humanity should exercise caution before committing to such a far-reaching alliance. "We know so little about these aliens and their true intentions," warned Professor Eliza Nakamura, a renowned astrophysicist. "What if they seek to exploit us, to strip us of our autonomy, and subjugate us to their will?" However, these dissenting voices were quickly drowned out by the overwhelming enthusiasm for the prospect of joining the Galactic Empire. The United Nations, buoyed by the potential economic and technological benefits, moved swiftly to formalize the agreement, dispatching a team of ambassadors to the Empire's capital world. As the human envoys prepared to embark on their historic journey, there was a palpable sense of anticipation and trepidation. They would be the first representatives of Earth to step foot on an alien world, to engage with a civilization that had mastered the secrets of interstellar travel and colonization. What wonders and challenges would they encounter beyond the bounds of their home planet? Little did they know that their fateful decision to embrace the Galactic Empire's invitation would set in motion a chain of events that would forever alter the course of human history. The consequences of their actions, both beneficial and perilous, would reverberate across the galaxy, sparking a conflict that would test the very limits of humanity's resolve and ingenuity. As the human ambassadors embarked on their journey to the capital world of the Galactic Empire, the scientists and researchers back on Earth wasted no time in analyzing the technological marvels left behind by the alien visitors. Led by the skeptical Professor Eliza Nakamura, a team of the world's brightest minds set out to reverse engineer the advanced systems and devices showcased during the initial diplomatic exchanges. What they uncovered over the following months would shake the very foundations of humanity's understanding of the Galactic Empire and its true nature. Through their painstaking examinations, the scientists discovered that the Empire's advanced technology was not the result of organic, collaborative development, as one might expect. Instead, it became clear that the aliens had systematically pillaged and assimilated the innovations of countless conquered civilizations, stripping them of their autonomy and self-determination. The Empire doesn't simply offer partnership and integration, Professor Nakamura announced in a televised press conference, her brow furrowed with concern. They are a hegemonic force that subjugates lesser societies, forcing them to conform to their agenda and serve their interests. Their promise of progress is little more than a thin veil for total domination. The revelation sent shockwaves through the global community, shattering the initial enthusiasm for joining the Galactic Empire. Suddenly, the prospect of aligning with such a predatory and ruthless civilization seemed not only undesirable but actively threatening to the hard-won freedoms and democratic values that humanity had cultivated over centuries. In the halls of power, heated debates erupted as world leaders grappled with the implications of this startling discovery. Should they proceed with the integration process, hoping to temper the empire's influence from within? Or should they take the unprecedented step of severing ties altogether, risking the wrath of the galaxy's most formidable power? As the discussions intensified, the human scientists continued their investigations, uncovering deeper and more unsettling truths about the Empire's methods and internal workings. They discovered evidence of widespread technological espionage, where the aliens would infiltrate the networks of promising civilizations, stealing their most valuable innovations before subjugating them. The realization that the Galactic Empire's success was built upon the systematic exploitation and destruction of countless other societies sent a chill down the spines of those responsible for Earth's future. The stakes had never been higher, as they contemplated the potentially dire consequences of aligning with such a ruthless hegemon. Eventually, after weeks of intense deliberation, the United Nations Security Council convened for a historic vote. The representatives from the world's nations knew that the decision they were about to make would reverberate through the ages, shaping the destiny of their entire species. With a tense, somber air, the council members cast their votes, and the results were announced to a breathless global audience. In a move that shocked the Galactic Empire and the watching world, the United Nations had unanimously decided to decline the invitation to join the alien civilization's expansive domain. Earth would not succumb to the allure of the Empire's technological wonders and economic might. Instead, it would chart its own course, determined to chart a path of independence and self-determination, even if it meant facing the wrath of the galaxy's most formidable power. As the human ambassadors hurriedly departed the Empire's capital, leaving behind a bewildered and indignant alien leadership, the leaders of Earth knew that their decision had sealed their fate. They had drawn a line in the cosmic sands, daring to defy the hegemonic ambitions of the Galactic Empire. Now they would have to prepare their planet and its people for the consequences of their defiance. For the Galactic Empire was not accustomed to such bold refusals, and it was almost certain to retaliate with overwhelming force. The news of Earth's refusal to join the Galactic Empire reverberated through the corridors of power on the alien capital world, sending shockwaves of disbelief and outrage. The towering, enigmatic figures of the Empire's leadership convened emergency council meetings, struggling to comprehend the audacity of this defiant human civilization. Never before had a lesser society dared to turn down the Empire's generous offer of integration and enlightenment. The very thought of such insolence was almost unfathomable to these alien rulers, who had grown accustomed to the eager submission of newly discovered worlds. As the human ambassadors hastily departed, the Empire's representatives issued a chilling ultimatum to the United Nations: resign the decision and accept the terms of integration, or face the full might of the galaxy's most powerful military force. Back on Earth, the gravity of the situation weighed heavily on the shoulders of the world's leaders. They knew that the Galactic Empire did not take kindly to such bold refusals, and that the consequences of their actions could be catastrophic. Yet, they were resolute in their conviction that maintaining humanity's independence and hard-won freedoms was worth the immense risk. "We stand at a crossroads in human history," declared President Aisha Sharma, her voice steady and resolute as she addressed the gathered representatives of the United Nations. "The Galactic Empire may possess unimaginable technological superiority, but we will not be cowed into submission. Our values, our way of life, are not for sale, not even to the mightiest power in the galaxy." The chamber erupted in a chorus of impassioned debate, as nation after nation weighed the pros and cons of defying the Empire's demands. Some warned of the potential devastation that the alien civilization could unleash, while others argued that Earth could never truly thrive under the yoke of the Empire's oppressive rule. In the end, after hours of intense deliberation, the United Nations Security Council reached a unanimous decision. They would stand firm, rejecting the Galactic Empire's ultimatum and affirming Earth's sovereignty. The die was cast, and there was no turning back. As the news of the historic vote spread across the globe, the reaction was a mix of anxious trepidation and cautious optimism. Millions of people took to the streets, waving flags and banners in a display of solidarity and defiance. They understood that their world was on the precipice of a momentous, potentially catastrophic confrontation with the most formidable power in the known universe. Yet there was also a sense of pride and determination, the belief that humanity's ingenuity, resilience, and indomitable spirit would ultimately prevail against the Empire's might. After all, they had faced seemingly insurmountable challenges before, from the depths of global conflicts to the vast, unforgiving expanse of space. "We have survived and thrived in the face of adversity for millennia," said Professor Nakamura, her words resonating with the global audience. "We will not cower in the face of this new challenge. We will meet the Galactic Empire's aggression with the full force of our resolve and our technological prowess." As the world braced for the impending confrontation, the leaders of Earth knew that they had made a decision that would echo through the ages. They had chosen to chart their own destiny, to stand firm in the face of coercion and subjugation, even if it meant risking the wrath of the galaxy's most powerful civilization. The future was shrouded in uncertainty, but one thing was clear: humanity had drawn a line in the cosmic sands, daring to defy the hegemonic ambitions of the Galactic Empire. The stage was set for a clash of civilizations, a battle for the very soul of their world. The Galactic Empire did not take kindly to Earth's defiant rejection of its generous offer of integration. Within days of the United Nations historic vote, the human ambassadors were unceremoniously expelled from the Empire's capital, and a massive fleet of imposing alien warships began amassing at the edge of the solar system. From their outposts on the Moon and Mars, the human colonies watched in mounting trepidation as the alien vessels, bristling with unfamiliar weaponry, established a formidable blockade around the Earth. Suddenly, the once bustling channels of trade and communication that had linked humanity's interstellar settlements were severed, plunging the global economy into chaos. "This is an act of aggression, plain and simple," declared President Sharma, her brow furrowed with a mix of anger and concern. "The Galactic Empire seeks to cripple us, to force our submission through economic strangulation." In the halls of power, frantic discussions erupted as world leaders grappled with the escalating crisis. Some advocated for a swift military response, calling for the mobilization of Earth's fledgling space forces to break the blockade. Others, however, cautioned against such reckless action, warning that the Empire's technological superiority would likely overwhelm any human-led counterattack. "We cannot match the Galactic Empire's firepower," argued the cautious Secretary General of the United Nations. "Any direct confrontation would be suicidal. We must find another way to avert this looming catastrophe." As the debate continued, the alien fleet delivered a chilling ultimatum to the leaders of Earth. In a recorded message, a towering figure clad in shimmering robes stepped forward, its features obscured by the glare of holographic projectors. "Humans of the planet Earth," the being intoned, its voice reverberating with an unnerving mixture of condescension and menace. "You have made a grave error in defying the Galactic Empire. We have offered you the opportunity to join our glorious civilization, to partake in the fruits of our technological and cultural achievements. Yet you have spurned our generosity." The holographic figure paused, its head tilting slightly as if considering its next words. "You have 72 of your Earth hours to reconsider your decision and submit to our terms of integration. Failure to comply will result in the complete and utter annihilation of your homeworld." With that, the transmission abruptly ended, leaving the stunned leaders of Earth to confront the grim reality of their predicament. They had dared to defy the most powerful force in the known galaxy, and now they faced the unthinkable prospect of their entire civilization being wiped out in a matter of days. In the frantic hours that followed, the nations of the world put aside their differences, channeling their collective resources and expertise into a desperate bid for survival. Scientific teams worked around the clock, analyzing the limited data they had managed to gather on the Galactic Empire's technology, searching for any weaknesses or vulnerabilities that could be exploited. Meanwhile, the global military forces were mobilized, with every available spacecraft, weapon, and soldier ready for a potential last stand against the alien invaders. The people of Earth, from all walks of life, rallied together, their spirit and determination refusing to be broken in the face of such overwhelming odds. "We will not surrender. We will not be subjugated," declared Professor Nakamura, her voice carrying a newfound resolve as she addressed a worldwide audience. "Humanity has faced existential threats before, and we have always prevailed through our ingenuity, our resilience, and our unwavering will to be masters of our own destiny. This time will be no different." As the clock ticked down, the world watched and waited with bated breath, knowing that the fate of their species hung in the balance. The Galactic Empire had presented them with an impossible choice: submit or be destroyed. But for the people of Earth, there was only one path forward, even if it meant risking everything. As the final hours of the Galactic Empire's ultimatum ticked away, the people of Earth faced a choice that would define the course of their civilization for generations to come. Submit to the alien hegemon's demands or risk complete and utter annihilation. In the face of such a dire threat, the leaders of the world knew that they could not simply resign themselves to defeat. They had to find a way to defy the Empire's overwhelming power, to buy themselves more time, and perhaps even turn the tide of the looming confrontation. It was then that the brilliant minds of humanity, long held back by the constraints of their own planet, were unleashed in a technological renaissance, the likes of which the world had never seen. Professor Eliza Nakamura, the renowned astrophysicist who had first sounded the alarm about the Galactic Empire's true nature, spearheaded the effort to rapidly accelerate scientific progress. She assembled a team of the world's foremost engineers, physicists, and computer scientists, granting them unprecedented resources and freedom to pursue their most ambitious and daring ideas. "We are facing the greatest challenge in human history," Nakamura declared, her eyes alight with a fierce determination. "The future of our species hangs in the balance. We must push the boundaries of what is possible, leveraging every ounce of our ingenuity and creativity to find a way to defeat the Galactic Empire's might." And so, in a frantic race against the clock, the scientists and technicians of Earth set to work, pouring their collective knowledge and expertise into breakthrough after breakthrough. Fusion reactors were perfected, providing nearly limitless clean energy. Advances in materials science yielded armor and shielding capable of withstanding the most devastating alien weaponry. Breakthroughs in quantum computing and artificial intelligence unlocked new frontiers in cryptography and network security. "We are no longer constrained by the limits of our own planet," marveled Dr. Mailian, a leading expert in space propulsion systems. "The shackles have been lifted, and our potential is boundless." As the world watched in awe, the nations of Earth set aside their differences, pooling their resources and knowledge in an unprecedented display of global cooperation. Factories hummed with activity, churning out the advanced technologies that would serve as the backbone of their defense against the Galactic Empire's impending onslaught. "This is our moment," declared President Sharma, addressing the United Nations General Assembly. "We stand united, not as separate nations, but as one species, one world, ready to face the challenges of the stars. The Galactic Empire may possess superior firepower, but we possess the unbreakable spirit of humanity. And that, my friends, will be our greatest weapon." The people of Earth, spurred on by the rallying cries of their leaders and the tangible progress of their scientists, worked tirelessly, fueled by a sense of purpose and determination that had not been seen in generations. Across the globe, factories operated around the clock, assembly lines churning out the tools of their defiance. As the final hours of the ultimatum ticked away, the world held its breath, waiting to see if their desperate gamble would pay off. For if they failed, the consequences would be unthinkable: the complete and utter annihilation of their homeworld, the end of humanity as they knew it. But the people of Earth were not willing to go down without a fight. They had tasted the freedom and autonomy that their ancestors had fought and died for, and they were not about to surrender it to the whims of a galactic hegemon. The stage was set for a confrontation that would shake the very foundations of the known universe. The Galactic Empire had chosen to make Earth its latest conquest, but little did they know that the people of this small blue planet were more than ready to defy their ambitions, no matter the cost. As the final hours of the Galactic Empire's ultimatum ticked away, the leaders of Earth convened in a tense, high-stakes meeting to decide their next course of action. They had made remarkable progress in accelerating their technological development, but they knew that their defenses might still not be enough to withstand the sheer might of the alien invasion force. "We cannot rely solely on our newfound capabilities to deter the Galactic Empire," warned President Sharma, her brow furrowed with concern. "They have far greater resources and firepower at their disposal. We need to devise a strategy that will give us an edge, a way to level the playing field." It was then that Professor Elisa Nakamura, the architect of the technological renaissance, stepped forward with a bold and audacious plan to infiltrate the Galactic Empire's command and control systems and disrupt their forces from within. "If we can find a way to hack into the Empire's networks, we may be able to sow chaos and confusion among their ranks," Nakamura proposed, her eyes alight with a dangerous glint. "It's a risky gambit, but it could be our best chance at survival." The room fell silent as the leaders of the world considered the implications of such a daring move. Hacking into the systems of the most advanced civilization in the galaxy was an unprecedented undertaking, fraught with peril. A single misstep could invite devastating retaliation, potentially sealing the fate of their entire planet. Yet, as the clock continued to tick, the leaders realized that they had no other choice. They had to take this desperate gambit, for the alternative, the complete annihilation of Earth, was unthinkable. "We will do it," President Sharma declared, her voice resolute. "Assemble the best cybersecurity experts, the most brilliant computer scientists, the most skilled hackers. We will strike at the heart of the Galactic Empire and buy ourselves the time we need to fortify our defenses." In the days that followed, a team of the world's top technological minds was assembled, working around the clock in the utmost secrecy. They pored over the limited data they had gathered on the Galactic Empire's systems, searching for vulnerabilities and exploits that they could leverage. The challenge was daunting. The alien civilization's networks were unlike anything humanity had ever encountered, heavily fortified, and protected by layers of advanced encryption and security measures. But the stakes were too high to be intimidated by the task at hand. "We are facing the greatest threat in human history," said Dr. Maidlian, the leading expert in quantum computing. "Failure is not an option. We must succeed, no matter the cost." As the final hours of the ultimatum drew to a close, the hackers made their move, unleashing a meticulously crafted malware into the Galactic Empire's systems. The intricate code wormed its way through the alien networks, exploiting vulnerabilities and sowing chaos wherever it went. The impact was immediate and devastating. Across the Imperial fleet amassed at the edge of the solar system, communications broke down, systems malfunctioned, and the once fearsome vessels were thrown into disarray. "It's working," exclaimed Professor Nakamura, her fingers flying across the keyboard as she monitored the unfolding events. "The malware is disrupting their command and control. We've bought ourselves some time." The world held its breath, watching as the mighty Galactic Empire struggled to regain control of its forces. For the first time, the towering alien civilization seemed vulnerable, Its vaunted technological superiority suddenly called into question. As the Imperial fleet faltered, the leaders of Earth knew that this was their moment. They had gambled everything on this desperate plan, and now they had to be ready to capitalize on the chaos they had sown. The stage was set for a confrontation that would decide the fate of their world. The Galactic Empire had been caught off guard, but they would not remain so for long. Earth's defenders had to be prepared to withstand the full might of the enraged alien hegemon, for the consequences of failure were unthinkable. The skies above Earth erupted in a dazzling display of firepower as the Galactic Empire's massive invasion fleet launched its assault on the planet. Waves of alien warships, their hulls gleaming with advanced technologies, rained down devastating energy beams and missile barrages upon the world's defenses. On the ground, the people of Earth watched in a mix of awe and terror as their cities were rocked by the violence of the extraterrestrial onslaught. Towering structures crumbled, and the air was thick with the acrid stench of burning metal and scorched earth. Yet, to the shock and dismay of the Imperial forces, the planet's defenses proved to be far more formidable than they had anticipated. The malware that had been unleashed into the alien networks continued to wreak havoc, disrupting the coordination and communication of the invading armada. "The plan is working," exclaimed President Sharma, her face etched with a grim determination as she observed the unfolding battle from the command center. "Keep pushing the attack. We cannot allow the Empire to regain control." On the front lines, the combined might of Earth's military forces, bolstered by the advanced technologies developed during the frantic weeks of preparation, fought with an unwavering resolve. Fighter craft darted through the skies, raining down precision strikes on the weakened Imperial vessels. Powerful energy shields deflected the alien bombardment, protecting the vital infrastructure and population centers below. Professor Eliza Nakamura, the architect of the daring hacking operation, watched the battle unfold with a mixture of triumph and trepidation. She knew that the malware's effects would not last forever. The Galactic Empire would inevitably find a way to neutralize the disruption and regain the upper hand. "We're buying time, but we can't hold out forever," Nakamura murmured, her eyes fixed on the swirling maelstrom of destruction above. "We need to find a way to deliver the decisive blow before the Empire's forces regroup." As the battle raged on, the people of Earth rallied behind their defenders, offering their unwavering support and prayers. Across the globe, citizens volunteered for civil defense duties, tending to the wounded and helping to rebuild the devastated infrastructure. "We will not surrender," proclaimed a young soldier, her face streaked with soot and grime, as she addressed a crowd of cheering civilians. "This is our home, our world, and we will fight to the last breath to protect it from the alien invaders." The determination and bravery of the human forces did not go unnoticed by the Galactic Empire's beleaguered commanders. Unaccustomed to such fierce resistance from a primitive civilization, they struggled to comprehend the tenacity and ingenuity of the planet's defenders. Slowly but surely, the malware's effects began to wane, and the Imperial fleet regained its coordination. The human forces found themselves outmatched by the sheer destructive power of the alien armada, their defenses crumbling under the relentless bombardment. Just when all seemed lost, a series of devastating counterstrikes from Earth's advanced weapon systems managed to cripple several key Imperial vessels, throwing the invading forces into disarray once more. "They're retreating," cried a jubilant military commander, his voice crackling over the communication channels. "We've pushed them back. The Galactic Empire is in full retreat." A cheer rose up from the embattled defenders, echoing across the ravaged cities and towns of the planet. For the first time since the conflict had begun, the people of Earth dared to hope that they might just emerge victorious against the formidable alien hegemon. Yet, as the initial euphoria faded, a somber realization set in. The battle had taken a heavy toll on their world. Infrastructure lay in ruins, and countless lives have been lost in the desperate struggle for survival. The Galactic Empire might have been forced to retreat, but they would undoubtedly return, hungrier for conquest than ever before. The fate of Earth had been decided. But the war was far from over. The people of the planet knew that they had drawn a line in the cosmic sands, daring to defy the ambitions of the most powerful civilization in the galaxy. Now they would have to prepare for the inevitable confrontation to come, steeling themselves for the challenges that lay ahead. In the aftermath of the epic battle that had raged across the skies of Earth, the world found itself in a state of somber reflection. The people emerged from their shelters, their eyes widening in a mix of relief and horror as they surveyed the devastation that had been wrought upon their cities and towns. Towering structures lay in ruins, their once proud silhouettes now reduced to twisted metal and shattered concrete. Plumes of smoke still drifted lazily into the air, a grim reminder of the violence that had consumed their world. The death toll, still being tallied, was a staggering tragedy that left a pall of grief over the entire planet. Yet, in the midst of the chaos and sorrow, a sense of pride and determination began to take hold. The people of Earth had banded together, their differences cast aside in the face of a common threat, and they had emerged victorious, if only temporarily, against the might of the Galactic Empire. "We have shown the galaxy that we are not to be trifled with," declared President Sharma, her voice steady despite the weariness etched upon her features. "Our triumph over the alien invaders will echo through the ages, inspiring others to rise up and fight for their freedom." However, the leaders of Earth knew that their victory had come at a great cost, and that the Galactic Empire would not take their humiliation lightly. The towering alien civilization, its pride wounded and its ambitions thwarted, would surely return with even greater force to subjugate the defiant world. "We have bought ourselves time, but the respite will be fleeting," warned Professor Eliza Nakamura, her brow furrowed with concern. "The Empire will not forgive our defiance. They will come back, seeking to obliterate us and erase any trace of our resistance." In the days and weeks that followed, the nations of the world came together in an unprecedented display of unity, pooling their resources and expertise to begin the arduous task of rebuilding their shattered infrastructure. Engineers, construction workers, and volunteers from all walks of life toiled tirelessly, driven by a shared determination to restore their world to its former glory. Yet, even as the physical scars of the battle began to heal, the emotional toll lingered. Families grieved for their lost loved ones, and the collective trauma of the invasion cast a pall over the global community. The once vibrant spirit of humanity seemed dimmed, weighed down by the sobering realization that they had faced the abyss and emerged scared, but not broken. "We have stared into the face of the Galactic Empire's ruthless ambition, and we have refused to be cowed," said Dr. Madeleine, her voice resolute. "This experience has forged us anew, tempered us like steel in the flames of adversity. We will be ready when they return, and we will fight with every ounce of our being to defend our freedom and our way of life." As the world grappled with the aftermath of the battle, the leaders of Earth knew that they faced an uncertain future. The Galactic Empire, once seen as a potential ally, had now become their sworn enemy, a formidable foe that would stop at nothing to subjugate their defiant world. The stakes had never been higher, and the people of Earth knew that they stood at a crossroads in their history. They had tasted the sweet fruit of independence, and they were not about to surrender it to the whims of a galactic hegemon. Whatever the future held, they were determined to forge their own destiny, even if it meant risking everything in a desperate struggle for survival. In the aftermath of the epic battle that had shaken the foundations of the known universe, the world of Earth found itself poised on the precipice of a new era. The scars of the invasion had yet to fully heal, but the people, united in their defiance of the Galactic Empire, began to forge a future that would echo through the ages. President Sharma, her face etched with the weight of the difficult decisions she had made, stood before the gathered representatives of the United Nations, her voice ringing with a newfound determination. "We have faced our greatest challenge yet, and we have emerged victorious. The Galactic Empire, for all its might and technological superiority, has been humbled by the indomitable spirit of humanity. But this is only the beginning." She paused, her gaze sweeping across the solemn faces of the leaders before her. We now stand at the threshold of a new era, one in which the people of Earth will no longer be content to simply exist under the shadow of a galactic hegemon. We will chart our own course, forging alliances and partnerships with those who share our values of freedom and self-determination. The words were met with thunderous applause, the leaders of the world's nations rising to their feet, their differences cast aside in the face of a common purpose. The Galactic Empire has shown us the true cost of complacency, declared Professor Eliza Nakamura, her voice strong and resolute. They have sought to subjugate us, to strip us of our autonomy, and we have answered with the full force of our resolve. Now we must be the beacon that inspires others to rise up and fight for their own liberation. Beyond the walls of the United Nations, the people of Earth celebrated their triumph, their spirits lifted by the knowledge that they had defied the most powerful civilization in the galaxy. Across the globe, flags were unfurled, and parades marched through the streets, the collective joy and pride of the human race on full display. Yet even amidst the revelry, a sense of unease lingered. The Galactic Empire had been forced to retreat, but they would undoubtedly return, seeking to exact their vengeance upon the defiant world. "We must be vigilant," cautioned Dr. Mailian, her brow furrowed with concern. "The Empire will not forgive our insolence. They will come back, armed with the full might of their resources and their technological superiority. We must be ready to meet them, to defend our hard-won freedoms with every fiber of our being." And so, the nations of Earth set to work, pooling their resources and expertise to fortify their defenses, to develop even more advanced weaponry and defensive systems. The technological renaissance that had saved them from the Empire's initial onslaught continued unabated, with scientists and engineers pushing the boundaries of what was considered possible. As the world prepared for the inevitable confrontation to come, a new spirit of global cooperation and unity blossomed. The barriers that had once divided humanity began to crumble, as the people of Earth recognized that their survival depended on their collective strength and determination. "We are no longer just citizens of individual nations," proclaimed President Sharma, her voice ringing with a sense of purpose. "We are citizens of the world, of a planet that has proven its mettle against the most formidable power in the galaxy. Together, we will stand as one, and we will prevail against any who seek to threaten our freedom and our way of life." The Galactic Empire, once a tempting prospect for integration and alliance, had been transformed in the eyes of humanity. They were now seen as a tyrannical force, a hegemon that sought to subjugate and exploit, rather than uplift and empower. And the people of Earth were more than ready to confront this challenge, to defend their home and their independence with every ounce of their being. As the world prepared for the coming conflict, a new sense of purpose and destiny began to take hold. The people of Earth knew that they were no longer confined to the bounds of their own planet, that their actions and their defiance had ignited a spark that would echo through the stars. They were ready to take their place among the galactic community, not as subservient subjects, but as equals, a civilization that had proven its mettle, its ingenuity, and its unwavering spirit. And as the Galactic Empire loomed on the horizon, the people of Earth stood tall, ready to defend their freedom and their future, no matter the cost.